Many are still asking themselves how Donald Trump could have possibly won the presidency. Less than 3 weeks ago, all the evidence pointed to a decisive Hillary Clinton victory, which seemed to have involved a concerted effort by both the Hillary campaign and mainstream media. It is yet to be determined if Donald Trump was directly involved. However, one thing that is certain is that the Russian hackers with ties to the Kremlin appear to be complicit in attempting to damage the Hillary Clinton campaign. So how does Donald Trump sweep the Electoral College and win popular vote? Evidence suggests that Donald Trump did not actually anticipate being nominated for the Republican Party. In fact, many sources are suggesting that his main purpose for the running was to gain viewership support ahead of the soon-to-be-released Trump TV. And what better way to secure national notoriety than to run for president? Throughout the primaries, he maintained a mediocre campaign budget, and with no coordination between states, his ground game was non-existent. All this suggests, at minimum, a lack of sincerity and seemingly ulterior motives. Lastly, aside from his family and a few close friends, he had essentially zero campaign staff, something normally in the hundreds for most presidential campaigns. Once Donald Trump received the Republican nomination, it seemed as if he was still mulling over the idea of dropping out of the race. It took him nearly 3 weeks to start calling anyone from the list of dependable Republican donors. And it was only after that Republican National Convention he appeared to be taking the campaign seriously. To his surprise and the surprise and dismay of Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump started making huge gains in the polls, with many polling sites saying that had the elections been held the day before the first presidential debate, Trump would likely have been elected president. With the state of the polls looking dreadful, it was clear that Hillary Clinton had to act, something she was quite comfortable with according to her WikiLeaks emails. Multiple sources have shown proof that Hillary's campaign had already coerced with the DNC and paid Bernie Sanders for his endorsement. Many allude to the idea that Hillary made deals with most of her political acquaintances, including Trump. The authenticity of the allegations have yet to be made clear, but seem to have been proven accurate by Trump's action during the first presidential debate. To many, it may have seemed that Trump was simply outdone in the first presidential debate due to his political inexperience. Nevertheless, an individual of his caliber would most certainly have had plenty of practice with persuasion. In fact, Trump specifically mentions his ability to do so in his book, The Art of the Deal. Moreover, Trump constantly spoke about the great people he surrounds himself with and the vastness of his wealth. Surely his pockets are deep enough to have hired a debate coach. No, it is much more likely that Trump and Hillary put a convincing show during the first debate, and Hillary's unnaturally calm reaction to insult after insult validates this belief. After his weak tea performance at the debate, Trump proceeds to put the final nail in his presidential campaign's coffin. For the next month, he began to send out a constant flow of offensive and ignorant tweets. Furthermore, Trump constantly spoke about being content with objectifying, degrading, and sexually harassing women, chalking it up to locker room talk. His behavior caused him an enormous loss, which caused Hillary to see a substantial increase in the polls. What other reason would Trump have to set his presidential campaign on fire? As I mentioned before, Hillary is no stranger to cutting deals. It has been said that the Clintons have used the Clinton Foundation to make deals with many a person for political gain. New information suggests that Hillary Clinton tried her pay-to-play politics with Vladimir Putin, but she overestimated her position. It would seem as though they had a falling out, because throughout her campaign, Hillary made clear her disdain for Putin. Her actions only motivated Putin to intervene in the elections and ensure Trump's victory. News sources state that he went as far as to threaten war to keep Hillary out of the Oval Office. So did Putin really have that much power over the election? Not entirely. The combination of reopening and closing of the FBI investigation in regards to Hillary's blatant criminal activity and the continuous onslaught of threats from Putin regarding worsening U.S. and Russian relations were enough to sway voters. To the uneducated voter, the fear of further corruption with a Clinton presidency and potential war with Russia presented one obvious choice: to make America great again. This was only possible by electing Donald Trump.